Hello my friends, this is FC7, and in today's adventure I'm going to be continuing the Shadow Knight epic line. This time I'm going to be doing an epic request. This will give you an ornamentation for any two-handed weapon that looks like your epic 1.5 or 2.0. And on the screen you see exactly what I'm going for. So if you're familiar with the epic request line, you'll know that the Shadow Knight starts in North Row. So when you enter North Row, you'll get an emote, and you will also get an item that looks like an eye, and you click on that eye, and it takes you to an area in North Row here. So I'm just showing you the compass. You'll just follow the compass, and you'll come upon a scene. So this is the scene that you'll come upon. You're going to see an irate merchant attacking a starving beggar, and you have to choose which one to save. So because this quest is so text heavy, I'm going to be showing my entire UI during the entire quest. I hate doing it, but just to follow along, you pretty much need to see all the dialogue and all the text that pops up on the screen. This quest basically involves making choices. Each choice will either be one of goodness or one of evil. So in this case I'm going to choose helping the beggar, and I'm going to attack the irate merchant. I don't think the choices you make too much of a difference during the quest. And I've only chosen to attack the merchant here. So once he's dead, an apotheosis of enmity and hope spawn. So as you can see, there's two of them. So you just go through their text and say the word willing, and you'll be on to the next step. So at this point, they transport you into an instance to play out a scene. And this is almost like going into a monster mission because you choose your AAs. It's a nice use of the monster mission technology. Whoever designed this quest did a fantastic job. So once you wake up, you head directly south and you keep running, and you'll see that your health is starting to drop. So we'll just keep running here and let the scene play out. Takes a little bit. I'm going to fast forward it here a bit so that you don't see a lot of walking around. This quest is very time consuming. You'll have to wait for everything to play out. I'd say it maybe takes about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit less. But you have to follow all these scripts and everything, so you just can't rush through it. I've done it twice so far. It's taken a little bit of time. So you'll have to read through the text here because a fisherman will save you on the beach. I wish I could tell you more about the lore of the quest. I know that the developers spend lots of time developing all these great storylines, but I just rush through them and I don't ever read them or pay attention, but it's a shame. Maybe someday I will sit down and try to read through all this lore. So eventually you'll wake up here, and the screen will be a little bit blurry because you are coming out of a fainting spell. So this fisherman helped you, and he will give you a couple of water flasks. So just drink those. So just drink a couple of those and get up. You have to grab your sword that's on the ground. It's right above where the fire is. And again, the apotheosis, both of them spawn, and you have to make a choice here whether to kill the fisherman or not. So I'll grab my sword and make the choice. So just equip it. Now you have to make a choice, because if you don't kill him, he's going to tell on you, which he admits to, so you can't have that. So make an evil choice here. And at this point, you have to run to the Oasis zone line. So make sure to set up your AAs and make a run for it. I will also fast forward here because it's a lot of running to Oasis, trying to avoid the guards, being stealthy, Metal Gear style. So eventually when you get to the zone line, you will be attacked no matter what you do. And in this case, it'll be 3 guards for me because I chose the evil route. These guys are easy to defeat. Just keep attacking them until they eventually die. So once you defeat the last guy, there'll be some text that shows up. So after the North Row scene is over, you're transported into the Plane of Hate. I'm assuming that this is an instance. It's not the real Plane of Hate on your server. But you do revert back to your normal self. So here I am, my level 86 Shadow Knight. The apotheoses are back and they're watching you. So pretty soon you will have to make another choice between good and evil. So you just run down this hallway to the left, and you will see a paladin fighting a drake, and you have to choose which one to help. And of course, being a Shadow Knight, I'm not going to help the paladin. So you have to make a choice here. Assist the drake or assist the paladin. So I will make my decision here. This paladin was really easy to defeat at level 86. So I'm also going to fast forward through this fight because there's not much to see. So after the paladin is defeated, you just follow the drake down the hallway. And I think these two make another statement or two. They're sitting here, standing there. And the maestro is in the background. That's pretty neat. Pretty cool. Look at that again. But we have to follow the drake for the next step in the quest. So in this next step of the quest, you have to choose whether you want to continue fighting paladins in the zone, or if you want just to ignore them and move on to the next step. So here we are in the palace. He'll open the door and you'll need to make your choice. And again, I don't know if these choices make that huge of a difference. I chose to keep fighting the paladins. So here you have the choice. You can either head north and help defeat the paladins, or you can just ignore them. I will skip most of the fights here, but I just thought I would show one of these fights where the paladin turns into a cool looking mob I've never seen before in the game. Maybe somebody watching can help me out. I've never seen that particular model before, so I don't know what that's about. I doubt they made him specifically for this quest, but maybe a Planes of Power model? Thought it was really strange. Like Squire Benson or something like that. Maybe I'll use that as the thumbnail for this YouTube video. That's certainly unique. I mean, if they gave out an illusion of this guy, I would probably get it in a second. So anyways, after he's defeated, you head south, and I will skip forward to that. So as you continue to run south, you'll run into this mob who will fling you backwards, so you'll have to defeat him too. That's Ashen Boom Skullbreaker. We'll just defeat him quickly. He was actually a little bit challenging, but nothing I couldn't handle. He definitely loads you up with a lot of detrimental spells. Maybe if you're a higher level than I am, they really don't hit you as bad, but wasn't anything too, nothing I can't handle, nothing too bad. So I'm going to show you what happens after you fight him for a while. He breaks off into a bunch of smaller drakes. So that happens. He breaks into like 20 smaller drakes, and you have to defeat them all. They're light blue at my level, and they didn't really pose any threat. Let's get rid of these guys. Move on to the next step. Go to the palace. Because the door will open in front of you now. You can see all these undead laying on the ground. It's pretty cool stuff. And you get to watch this scene play out. And this guy, I think he was the last guy that was in the Epic 2.0 fight. Same name. I just finished my 2.0 like 2 days ago. Posted it up on my channel. And his name sounds familiar. I think he was the last fight in the ruined city of Drennick. So just watch this play out. There's Interrupt up there. Very rare to see him anywhere. So now you enter North Freeport, and it's going to be the old North Freeport, which I'm really happy about. When I saw that, I was overjoyed. And you'll need to make a choice whether you want to put this guy's armor on and sneak around and try to get clues, or if you just want to go and destroy everybody in the town. So if you decide just to attack the town like I did, I recommend making a hotkey that says where is Glendor. So every time you defeat one of these guys, just make the hotkey and spam the hotkey when he falls to the ground, and I'll show you an example. We'll get these guys defeated first. Okay, according to my research, what's supposed to happen during the quest is you're supposed to ask that question of each of the corpses, and eventually one's supposed to tell you exactly where to go. But I guess the quest is bugged or something, and after just killing everybody in the town here, the small area, eventually this emote pops up. So you just follow exactly where it tells you to go, and it'll be a small room by the old Freeport Bank in North Freeport here. Location on the screen. So there's the map. Surprisingly, I had a map of the old Freeport, the old North Freeport. It's pretty interesting. So we'll just look around, and his location is by the bank. So I'm trying to remember where to go here. Get rid of this guy. You do have a Gather Shadows ability, but I don't know. I think these guards can see through and Diz. So we'll just make our way through here. Brings back a lot of memories. I wish they'd bring this old Freeport back. But I think I say that in every video when I go through Freeport. So we will just go right by the bank and take a right. I think another guard's attacking me. Just pick this up off the table. And it's going to direct you where to go. And I believe it's going to tell you to go to the Temple of Mar. So we'll head that way. Yeah, the Temple of Mar. And you're going to need to find your way, or make your way to the top. So we will just run there quickly. I haven't been to the real North Freeport in years, so I have to remember where the Temple of Mar is. And put the map up. Luckily I have a working map of the old North Freeport. So there it is, right there. And what we need to do is make our way to the top. There will be a whole lot of paladins in your way, so you have to work your way through them. And this is the second time I've done the quest, so one strategy I was thinking of to avoid all of these guys is simply running through and trying to feign death at the top. I don't know, maybe I'll try that next time instead of fighting each one of these guys individually. Because they are paladins, they do heal each other, so it's going to be a very long process because they keep complete healing themselves or using lay on hands. Really, there's nothing more frustrating than getting a mob down to a certain percentage and then having his friends heal him back up. So it takes forever, and what I'm going to do is skip all these fights and I will fast forward to when I got to the top because this is just a lot of tedious fighting. Okay, here I am at the top taking care of the last trash mob in my way. So now you will need to go to where these glowing orbs are and use Gather Shadows for the next step. So we'll just put Gather Shadows up, and this triggers the next step of the quest. You turn back into your real form, and what follows is a long scene. So we'll just watch it play out here. A lot of lore going on. A family squabble. Let's watch it play out. I think that's supposed to be his own brother. Brutal. And the apotheoses spawn again, floating in the air. They got the cool levitate bob going on. A whole lot of dialogue. So if you're a lore freak, this would be for you. And eventually you're going to have to choose between these two apotheoses again. So eventually we'll need to make a choice between evil and good again. And one thing I noticed while I was doing this part is you have to, if you choose the good side, well, if you choose to attack the good person, the apotheosis that's good, you need your epic 1.0 because you cannot attack her with any other weapon. But you can attack that one with any weapon. So what I'm going to try to do and show you here is that you cannot attack the Apotheosis of Hope using any other weapon. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody is welcome to correct me, or I can come back and do an update in the description box. But I cannot attack her at all. So, as you can see, not doing any damage. So what I'm going to have to do is attack the other one. So after about 5 minutes of trying this, it didn't work, so I had to choose the other one. If anybody tells me why this could be considered something bad in the game, I'll give you a shout out someday. Why you can't attack that one. But I'll leave that as a question out there. Why is an unattackable mob a bad thing in this game? Alright, so on to the next step. This is the last part of the quest. So you'll be teleported outside of the Temple of Mar and attacked by these soldiers here. I'll put my weapons, my regular ones, back on. Even though I like my epic, I don't think that it would do much damage to these guys. So I'll put my heroics back on and heroically slay these guys. So after they are defeated, she will activate and attack you, but wasn't really much of a threat. I used my harm touch here on her. Took her from like 100 to 40. So if I have any last thoughts about this quest, I really do think this is probably the funnest one I've done so far, and it shows that a lot of thought went into this one. Whoever designed it deserves a raise, actually. The use of different instances and monster missions and stuff like that, it's amazing stuff. It's good quality work. There's a little bit of stealth involved. So, okay, we defeated her. And one last thought is, in order to become, or to get the evil rating, because it gives you a rating at the end, you pretty much need your epic 1.0 if you want to choose the last apotheosis of hope. So maybe I'll come back someday once I have my 1.0 and finish it up. I think you need a perfect score to do the epic retelling to get that aug, or that ornamentation, but I don't know for sure. So the quest at this point is pretty much done, and you're ready to do the final hail. So I'm going to go do that. So back in Felweath to do the final hail and finish up the quest. And there we go. We get a nice achievement as well. So I'll choose the ornamentation, which is right there. I'll need a two-hander though, so I think this guy will drop one. There we go. So I'll need a two-hander to put the ornamentation on, only because I'm going to use it to put our display in my guild hall. So we'll just put it in there, try it out, and there it is. So any two-hander can look like your epic, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to go in my guild hall and display it. So here I am in my guild hall. Find a place for it. I do have a wall of epics. I think I'll put it on. I have to work on this yet. Maybe I'll make a video someday on how I'm working on my wall of epics. So there, I think I'll put it next to the Necro 1. So there's a Necro 2.0. And I will put the Shadow Knight 2.0 right next to it. So they look good together. So that should just about do it for this quest. Everybody, thank you for watching. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Have a great day.